Okay, so first up we have here Nolan Jones, a Colorado Rocky. He's 24 years old, big guy, 6'4", 195, third baseman, Nolan Jones. So Nolan Jones, I was a big fan. I want to say that when he was probably 3 years ago, 2 years ago, somewhere in that range. Apparently, and this little tidbit about Nolan Jones, he was one hell of a hockey player, like really, really good at hockey before he just decided to play baseball full time. But just a few stats. Well, I'll run through it. In 2016, in rookie ball, he had 109 at bats. His slash line looked 257 average, 388 OBP, 339 slugging. Nothing to really stand out yet. It was just 109 at bats in his rookie season. But then in 2017, he got 218 at bats, hit 4 home runs, just 1 stolen base, but his average was sitting at 317. On base was 430, and his slugging was 482. This is when he started climbing up some prospect lists and stuff like that. Once we got into 2018 in single A ball, full and advance, he got a total of 427 at bats, batted 283, on base 405, slugging 466, 19 dingers that year. So he's really started showing a lot in single A ball in 2018. 2019, we've seen him pop up. He did advanced A again for 252 at bats, batted 286, home runs 7, but then got a call up at age 21-ish to double A. Got 178 at bats there, batted 253, on base 370, slugging 466, 8 dingers with those, couple stolen bases. That's not what this guy's going to be. He's not going to be a speed guy. He's going to be a big guy, I believe. As I stated, 195 at 24 years old. He's probably got another 20 pounds to throw in there to really juice the bat. After we seen him after the 2020 season, obviously we didn't get any stats there, but in 2021, he spent the full time at AAA, and his slash line was 238, 356, slugged 431, 13 home runs. So we did see a dip. The strikeout concern popped up a little bit in AAA. He struck out 122 times. He had 81 hits. So this is where I suppose before that I should have jumped in and said his walk to strikeout ratio was decent. He was really showing a good plate discipline. And then in 2021, he just had a bad year. And I think I'm going to say that. I think 2021, he just had a bad year. It wasn't ugly by any means. It was just a little concerning. So AAA this year, he had 214 at bats, averaged 276, on base 368, slugged 463. So he had some decent power numbers. But that's where I say that 21 was kind of a flaw, I guess, in his statistical output. He struck out a ton in 2021. He really didn't strike out a ton in 2022. He only had 64 strikeouts compared to 31 walks in 214 at bats. So I really think that 2021 was an anomaly. Ross, what do you got on him?
So to me, Nolan Jones was a guy that I always felt was overrated when he started rising up in the ranks. Strikeout rate was always a problem. Everybody talked about this power that didn't really seem to show up in games that much. So I always felt he was being overrated based on projection that wasn't quite there to me. That said, right now he might be slightly underrated. I think he's fallen off the list so much that people are now starting to overlook him a little bit. That doesn't mean I'm recommending that everybody go get this guy right away. I think he's a guy that could be a useful plug-in, but I don't think he's a guy to build around or anything like that. So that's what I mean when I say he's a little underrated now. He's free agent fodder in some leagues I don't think he's quite that bad. I think he's a role player, a bench player, maybe. He strikes out too much.
Yeah.
For a guy that's known for being a power hitter, there just doesn't seem to be that many home runs. And he was traded this offseason to the Rockies for Juan Brito, which I think signals a couple things. I think it signals the Guardians are moving on from Nolan Jones and they see something in Juan Brito. And on the flip side of it, his ability to hit with that power that may or may not be a figment of people's imaginations, maybe that'll play up in the thin air of Colorado, which could be really good for his career. So high walk rate, a lot of strikeouts. The bat is okay. Looking at his peak projections, he's really grades out as an average player. 50 hit, 50 power, and 45 speed. So he's not going to be a fast player, but pretty average across the board. So we'll see how that works as a Rocky. And honestly, I like that he's ranked in the Scout the Statline top 30 outfielders, because I think it reflects what I was saying, that he was overrated before and now he's a little underrated. If you need to plug somebody in, he's probably going to be in the major leagues this year. So he could be the guy that is your stopgap at the very least.
For sure.
If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and of course visit our website, scoutthestatline.com for more.